Community First is a people organisation, whether it's the staff or it's the people that we work with. And I do firmly believe that Community First changes people's lives. It changes people's lives for the better for them, not for what we think they want, but to help and support them to do the things that they want as a whole. What underpins all of that work is our community development work, because that's how we understand what communities want and need and where their concerns lie, the things that challenge them, the things that keep them awake at night, the things that they worry about. And the way that we get most of that intelligence is through our community-led planning.
Well, the parish plan is about finding out what everybody wants and needs. Perhaps there are older people who find it very difficult to get to hospital appointments. It might be about the need for more affordable housing in a community. And unless somebody asks the question, then how will anybody know that that might be something that we have to plan for in the future in that community? Each of these projects takes 18 months to 2 years, and so that represents a huge amount of volunteer effort as well as input from Community First. But I feel really proud of those communities that have put in all those volunteer hours and kept at the task to create these parish plans, because I think they're a really important foundation stone to enable communities in Wiltshire to carry on thriving and being really successful and considering the needs for the future.
One of the keys to drawing communities into Community First has always been our grants programme. The grants are a bit of a carrot in a sense. They're crucial because it's crucial to be able to put actual money, put cash into communities to help them to do the things that they want to do. But what's really important is being able to bring communities to us so that we can then offer that support and advice that we, I believe, do so well.
Well, I mean, the main hall is much closer now to the finished product. You can see it's all now plastered.
I think you would find if you talk to a lot of the groups who've received that funding, they'll say, yes, the money's been very important, but what's been more important is the advice and support that we've got along the way, the help we've had to make it happen, to make the difference.
You were saying earlier you've had the doors made locally, so that's within Amesbury?
No, within Swindon.
Within Swindon.
We've stayed, I mean, Swindon is... I think at the beginning, they were the people that started to open our eyes as to what fundraising was all about, who we should approach, how we should do it, put us in contact with Wiltshire Council, who were also extremely helpful to us. And then, through all their sort of information sheets and the great bank of data and advice, steer us through the sort of the legalities and the processes of managing a project, the sort of permissions you need, how the trustees will impact on it, all those sorts of things to make it actually run smoothly and properly.
Community First is able to offer a number of different grants, so we could put together a package for Mark. It's making a difference in the community. So for me, yes, Community First and the plain action funding and the grants we give through landfill tax or Solve, they're out there actually helping the community and making a big difference in the community.
One of the key agencies in any rural community is the parish council. The parish council is that first tier of local government. It's the interface between government and communities. Parish councils are key to making things happen. They're going to be very important in the future. And Community First's role is to work through the Wiltshire Association of Local Councils to provide the advice and support, the backup, if you like, to those parish councillors and to the clerks of parish councils to help them to do a good job locally.
Quite often the information and advice that we give to a parish or town council is at the start of or part way through a project. We don't go into a parish council and sort of work with them on a project from start to finish. With 268 parish and town councils in Wiltshire and Swindon, it wouldn't be possible for us to do that, but we help them, support them and enable them to support their communities and enable things to happen in their communities. So it's sort of a two-way thing, if you like.
At the centre of any rural community will be its local economy and how that local economy can support the sustainability of that community into the future. And at the centre of all of that are often places like the village shop, the post office, the pub, And Community First has a very important role in seeing the local economy as being a crucial part of that holistic approach to working with communities. The village shop is often at the very centre of its community. It's what makes its heart beat, because it's the place not just where you go and get a loaf of bread or a pint of milk. It's increasingly the place where you get your social contact.
It's really great to see a shop start up. We've got 14 community shops in Wiltshire now, and it just brings so much back into the community. They really are the sort of heartbeat of the community when they get going. It's a real loss to a village when they've lost that central focus point, even if it's just somewhere people can come and chat and see each other and talk to each other, and something to get involved with volunteering in their own community. It's really important to the whole village life.
So one thing that we've started, which you probably haven't picked up on, is what we call shop and go. So customers can... Tim came in for a couple of days himself and actually helped us put the shelves up and what height they should be and what should go on which shelf, what caught customers' eyes and so on, which was absolutely brilliant help because we were complete novices. We had enthusiasm but no knowledge, and it was a great help, huge help.
I think it's really difficult for communities just to start from scratch. So I think the support that we give is fundamental really into kick-starting exactly what they do and what they want to achieve. And then there's ongoing support that they do need, professional advice, especially in what I do in aspects of retailing. I come from a retail background, so I can help them trade through the years, which is really important. And sometimes it can be just a fresh set of eyes, so that I can look at their shop and their business appropriately and give them advice and support to try and develop that business.
So Churton, does you think Churton comes under us?
Community First takes a very holistic approach to its communities, and it was through listening to the needs, particularly of older people in our communities, through our link scheme and through the community-led planning work that we do, that we recognised that there was becoming an increasing problem for older people isolated in their communities. And it was out of that work that we developed the proposal for the new Good Neighbour Service. The new Wiltshire Good Neighbour Service is a partnership programme that we are delivering in partnership with Age UK Wiltshire and with Wiltshire Council.
The response that we've had from our clients has been phenomenal. We're impacting people's lives on a daily basis. Sometimes it's quite small ways. It may be supporting somebody with help to walk their dog. In other ways, it's much bigger. It may be helping somebody who's visually impaired engage with their community better through social activities. It may be helping somebody move house to a home that's more suitable to their living needs. But we are really about enabling people to take control of their lives, to make decisions about the services that they want.
What's so great about that service is that it is being done by local people again. We've recruited 25 Good Neighbour coordinators over the last year who live and work in their own communities.
We strengthen communities because we enable people to live longer in those communities. So what they add back to that community is added value. The volunteers who help take great satisfaction from being able to support not only individuals but their communities in that way. And as a volunteer, that's amazing. And it's an amazing thing for local volunteers to see as well, that they're impacting the lives of those people that they know.
Community First believes that the young people in our communities are very important to our communities. They're important because they're our future, and if communities are going to survive, we need young people to stay in our communities. We need them to be able to find a home. We need them to be able to find work. We need them to be able to find a social life and build their own families and their own futures in our communities.
Well, Project Inspire has been going for 18 months now, and some of the changes that we've seen young people make have been growing in confidence, self-belief, and their ability to go into a group of people and to communicate with them in a confident and express themselves in a way that might be useful in a job environment or going to college, for example. I mean, some young people just find themselves plain and simply unemployed, so literally finding a first aid certificate or getting a food hygiene certificate helps them to make that final step into employment.
One of the highlights for me was when I done the sports leaders course. On the Friday I was nervous all week that I wasn't going to do well, but there's the people that taught us how to do this all week, helps out and everything runs smoothly. And Alice was in my group doing that as well.
If I wasn't doing Project Inspire, I'd probably not going to school, just sort of hanging around with people that I already knew and that I was friends with instead of meeting new people.
I think it's the lasting benefit within the backs of young people's minds, the things, the comments that you make, the comments that other people make, the experiences. You never know at what point in their life that's going to become relevant. And you could talk forever about the obvious benefits, but the less obvious ones get swept under the carpet sometimes.
One of my trustees says that Community First is Wiltshire's greatest secret. And to an extent, he's right, because people see bits of Community First. They see the village hall, they see the youth club, they see the parish council, they see the village shop. But if you look at the whole, that makes a big difference, because once the parts start to fall apart, then the energy goes from the person that's driving it too. To keep a community going, you need all those different bits and pieces, you need all those parts, but most of all, you need the people to drive it forward.